Principled people will stand for principle. Journalists describe the kind of language I used as effective in the sense that it was actually barbed, like in barbed wire, or bitter as gall, but stating the facts. And it was very complimentary. I believe anyone who is lucky to be in a leadership position understands that leadership is leadership from within more often than it is from the front. But every now and then, because a vision is more often than not articulated by an individual who reads the dynamics of the group, such a leader will occasionally step ahead in the full confidence that the group will follow, because it does that, or she does that, from a base of understanding.
So in 2012, you came out against the leadership of President Zuma. Why did you think that you needed to speak out?
On issues of morality, issues of ethics, your sense of right and wrong is what matters. I made an observation about the prevailing conditions, and the guilty somehow stepped into the trap. I did not mention anybody by name. I was worried about what I saw as an emerging leadership that was devoid of a moral base. And if President Zuma, or even the ANC, or even certain business leaders stepped into that, they stepped into that essentially out of their sense of guilt. Leaders that emerge in whatever institution, I believe, should not be cast ashore by a wave of populism. What I perceived to have been the leadership emerging that way, using a fairly popular leader as a Trojan horse. So that in itself, in my study of leadership, said questionable. There was institutional thieving, institutional stealing, which some social scientists would characterize as kleptocracy. Even to build a school, you need to grease somebody's palm. To build one school in the Mpumalanga area, it actually took me 7 years just to get the green light. I'm not benefiting one rand. I just wanted to benefit the community that gave birth to me. But in order for me to do that, I had to grease somebody else's palm. I refused consistently, hence the red tape and the delay. And when it ultimately happened, there was an insistence that there should be a supervisory body between our identification and selection of the contractor and the actual delivery. And I said, but what is the need of this thing? And nobody could really explain, but it is evident to anybody who has eyes to see that that was in fact squatting as a parasite on the system. Materialism is rampant, particularly for those in leadership positions. So I've been castigated for being given very good leadership positions and remaining essentially poor. And my argument was that I don't believe in my leadership position the thrust should be self-aggrandizement. The thrust should in fact to provide leadership. Material things, if I want to amass material things, I will actually go work elsewhere. When national duty calls, I'll deliver on what national duty demands. Occasionally you get bashed, occasionally you get bruised. And more often than not, if you have a sound compass and you also have a sound point of departure in being a principle-centered leader, more often than not, you are successful. But that also has to be informed by a moral base or an ethical compass. I believe what South Africa needs is bold leadership.